time for Jags Jabs. I am Jefferson Alonzo Greene, and let's jump right to it. I've been seeing, hearing, reading a lot of discussion about Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. I don't know why this is happening. Actually, I do know why this is happening, because Nia Jax had some things to say about Ronda Rousey injuring Alexa Bliss. At least she didn't say the name, but we all pretty much figured out it was Ronda Rousey. And then, of course, Nia Jax, who's injured just about everybody and their cousin on the Raw roster, just brutalized Kairi Sane last night on Raw with a terrible-looking buckle bomb, I guess we could call it, that people are saying that Kairi's hurt or it did a lot of damage or what have you. So, on one hand, yes, Nia's a hypocrite. She's talking about someone hurting Alexa Bliss, who is her friend, but at the same time, Nia Jax has injured half the damn Raw women's roster and SmackDown women's roster as well. So, the reason why I'm making this jab is because some people have gone on to speculate on Twitter, I'm sure on Instagram and Facebook, but I've primarily seen it on Twitter. They began to speculate who would win in a shoot fight, a real fight between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. I can't believe I even have to talk about this. I can't believe that I really have to have this conversation with you idiots, because a blind man can see that this is no contest. This is the problem with people who don't know how to fight, or people who perceive size to be toughness or strength or physical prowess, okay? Just because you're big doesn't mean you know how to fight. And just because you're tough doesn't mean you can beat technique. Technique wins every time. And Ronda Rousey has technique for days. I was going to try to stretch this out and kind of reveal at the end who's going to win the fight. But you know what? Let's keep it real. Ronda Rousey beats Nia Jax like a redheaded stepchild. She beats the stuffing out of her. There's so many other things I could say that probably aren't PC. But Ronda Rousey, let's just put this in perspective, people. She is an Olympic bronze medalist in judo. That means she specializes in throwing people. And you know what you do when you're in a style like judo where you use someone's body weight against them, you use their momentum, we call it leverages or joint manipulation. It doesn't matter how big you are. You either fly through the air with the greatest of ease or it snaps. Nia Jax would be quite a spectacle flying through the air when Ronda Rousey got a hold of her wrist, her arm, her leg, whatever the hell she needed to throw her or take her to the ground. Ronda Rousey is a better grappler. Ronda Rousey could tap Nia Jax out with one hand tied behind her back. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Ronda Rousey is so prolific and gifted when it comes to grappling and judo that this is a non-event. This is a no contest. Now, if you say, hey, Jag, Nia Jax is so big, all she has to do is hit her once and it's over. Yes, friends, that's called the puncher's chance. Anyone has a puncher's chance, and if you happen to outweigh your opponent by quite a bit and you punch them, you have a chance that one hitter quitter, if it lands, knocks them out. Chances are it's not going to land because they're so much faster than you, because they are smaller than you. So Ronda has horrible striking. Ronda is quite possibly the worst striker I have ever seen at high-level MMA. Her punches, her coach needs to be shot. He needs to be dragged out into the street and shot, okay? He needs to be humiliated. But she punches like I can't even tell you. It's terrible. It's horrible. If you ever watch her shadow box, you will cringe. So, yes, in that respect, Nia Jax has a puncher's chance at knocking her out. But I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, Ronda Rousey's going to win this thing because she knows how to grapple. She knows how to take you to the ground. She knows how to throw you. She knows how to use joint manipulation. She knows how to use leverages. She will roll her up like a blunt at a Snoop Dogg concert, okay? This is not even a real fight. And just to make this clear to you people, I'm going to tell you a story about old Jaggy, okay? Once upon a time, I trained a little MMA. Trained a lot of different styles. I've never claimed, whether in kayfabe or shoot, to be an MMA fighter because I'm not. I'm not an MMA stylist. I don't know much about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know much about any of that stuff. However, for a while, I did train with some pretty prolific and gifted MMA fighters. One name that you might recognize, and of course, I don't want to be a douchebag and drop a bunch of names, so I'm going to keep this simple and keep this relevant to this one story. I trained at a gym that was owned by a pretty high-profile UFC fighter, and one guy that I actually got to train with is a smaller gentleman by the name of Cub Swanson. You've probably heard of Cub Swanson because he's pretty damn prolific and gifted. He's pretty famous. Cub came into training one day, it was a little bit late, and I was sitting out taking a breather because the Jag is out of shape, even back then. And I was taking a breather because there was an odd number of people in class. There were like 7 guys in class, and so 6 guys are rolling, and I'm chilling on the side, catching my breath, waiting for the next round. And then Cub rolls in, and he did some warm-ups, whatever. He's like, hey, let's roll. And I'm like, oh, no. You don't want to roll with me. I'm huge. You fight at 135 or whatever the hell he fights at. I'm double that and more probably. So you don't want this smoke because I might hurt you. And I didn't say that as in I was going to hurt him because I'm such a badass. I said it as in I might roll on your ankle or I might do something that's going to take you out of the game. And the game is how he earned his money, people. So I didn't want to hurt Cub Swanson. And he says, oh, I think I'll be okay. And so what happens? We start to roll, and I promise you, as sure as the sun is shining, as sure as this man tapped me out probably 7 times in one 5-minute round. It was to the point where he started to do things, and I would try to muscle my way out of it, and he would take my own momentum, and next you know, he's over here, and he's doing the same thing to the other arm. Or if he started to get my back, and I try to Hulk smash, he would go with the Hulk smash, roll with it, and come back around and get me again. I was tapped out 7 times in 5 minutes, people. Cub Swanson, that's probably a fair comparison. Me versus Cub to Nia versus Ronda Rousey. Cub Swanson treated me like I was his bitch. He tapped me out. And yes, is there a chance that if I'd gotten a clean shot to Cub Swanson, I might have knocked his ass out? Yeah, sure, but quite possibly. But dude was fast, dude was quick, dude was elusive, and he tapped me out like I was like I was a tackling dummy, okay? Like I was a little grappling doll, you do whatever you want to. That was me versus Cub Swanson. So let's keep this in perspective, people. If you've never fought in your life, not even talking about professionally, I'm saying if you've never had real training in boxing, MMA, Krav Maga, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, you know, you can't say who's gonna win a fight because you don't freaking know. If you're Team Nia, you're an idiot. If you're Team Rousey, at least you have some common sense, but Ronda Rousey is still trash when it comes to striking, and that is why Holly Holm knocked her the hell out, and that's why Nunes knocked her the hell out, and that's why she's in pro wrestling right now, because she was not too prolific and gifted with the hands. But I tell you what, if she gets a hand on you, if she gets a hold of you, game over. Game over, man, game over, like Bill Paxton. May he rest in peace. That's going to do it for Jags Jabs. A little bit long. I hope you appreciated the story. Let's stop making up these stupid matches. Hell, I remember when they said Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather. Really, though? Really? Let's stop making these hypothetical stupid matches because the real recognize real, and I know for a fact that Ronda Rousey would smack Nia Jax around like she owed her money. So, make sure you follow me at AKA The Jag on social media. Follow the show at Make Me a Fan 316, and I will see you clowns next time. Take care.